Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Tekkit. I appear to have discovered a horrible environmental disaster. There's an oil leak just up the river. Not only is this going to be terrible for the local wildlife, but I know that I am never going to be drinking this water again. Alright, so, where did we leave off last time? Right, we built some basic machinery. I have spent a fair bit of time refining a lot of the ores, which has worked out fairly well for me. It took a long dang time, though, so in the process, I got bored and decided to build some stairs and other little things, start planting some sugarcane around, and, you know, things that we're going to want eventually. But let's go take a look at the progress that we have made. I should be about done with the gold, which was kind of one of the main goals. It's mostly done. That'll be fine, though. Hang on. So what we're going to do today is we are going to start working with the equivalent exchange mod, which means I get to start using Alchemy, and you will discover how incredibly overpowered it really is. So, do I have everything I need here? I'm pretty confident that I do, actually. Alright, first thing we're going to do then, let's take a look at a special thing called the Condenser. One of the most powerful tools you will ever find in equivalent exchange. It is comprised of obsidian and diamonds surrounding an alchemical chest. The alchemical chest being made of a regular chest, a couple iron, some stone, cooked stone. Oh, I probably should take care of that, shouldn't I? Just grab a couple pieces of wood real quick. We need to cook some of this up. And then several different kinds of special dust. So let's take a look. So we need covalence dust, which is just made of a bit of charcoal and some cobblestone. We'll need some light blue covalence dust, which is just a redstone and an iron ingot. And lastly, some dark blue covalence dust, which is made of coal with a diamond. And you get 40 for each of these. That shouldn't be too hard for me to gather. So let's get some charcoal going, a little bit of cobblestone. There's the green covalence dust, some redstone and iron. There's the light blue. I forgot a diamond. It's one of the reasons you need diamonds before you can go too far with equivalent exchange. There we go. More diamonds and coal. Dark blue. Perfect. For the alchemical chest, what was it again? One of each, a diamond, chest, iron, stone. Alright, let's grab myself one of my diamonds. Doink. Here. Green, light blue, dark blue, stone, chest, iron. Easy enough. The alchemical chest in of itself is pretty nice. It's got a huge inventory space for really very little space taken. Just one block. That's pretty nice. But I want to upgrade this darn thing, so let's get myself some obsidian. Let's get most of the rest of my diamonds. And then we'll doop that. And boom. The Energy Condenser! One of the most powerful items in the game, bar freaking none. So the principle behind the equivalent exchange mod is the idea that energy and matter cannot ever be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. Well, what we're doing is we're going to help these items along to actually change its form into something we find more desirable. For example, let's take my final diamond and a couple of stacks of nickelite. That should be useful. Okay. So if I put a diamond right here and say this is the item I want to transmute, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this nickelite, dump it in here. There's a diamond. One stack of nickelite perfectly added up to have a new diamond. And now I have 2 diamonds. And I can just do this freaking indefinitely. Let's throw in some more nickelite. Easy. Now the way that this is going to work, if you're not too familiar with it, you see almost every item in the game has an EMC value, which I guess is just like an energy matter something. Tungsten, for example, has a fair chunk of it. Let's dump this in here. So this has an EMC value of 16,384 per tungsten ore. A diamond is 8,192, which is exactly half of a tungsten. So, if I want to transmute the matter of a tungsten ore into diamonds, I should get 2, dink, just by dumping it into the energy condenser. And we can do that several times, and look at that, now I got 20 diamonds. You guys see how freaking powerful this can become? It's freaking ridiculous. Now, on the off chance that you were not able to have enough diamonds to create the energy condenser right away, never fear, there are some other options for you. We can look up the classic Philosophers Stone. And that is made with glowstone, redstone, and a diamond. Now, obviously, I don't have any glowstone. Probably should fix that today, though. Go to the nether, That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and make a Philosopher's Stone. That is another option, though. The Philosopher's Stone can be used in conjunction with items like, let's say, 4 gold bars, and it creates a diamond that way. So if you didn't have enough to jump straight to the energy condenser, that's one way to do it. Otherwise, if you can get 10 diamonds like I did, there you go. Now I don't ever have to worry about going to the nether. But I'm going to do it anyway. So one thing we can do, let's grab this obsidian. I'm going to grab a bit more nickelite because this stuff is relatively useless. And rather than mine up a lot of obsidian, which we all know takes a long time, let's take the obsidian, which has an EMC value of 64, dump in a bit of nickelite, and look at that! I can make some nether portals and stuff. How freaking fun. It's pretty awesome. As long as you keep one item around, just as a basic energy template, you can get away with a frickin' ton in this game. Now, remember how I said earlier that gold is worth diamonds? Same math applies here. 2,048 times 4 equals 8,192, so 4 gold ingots equals 1 diamond if I want to put it into the energy condenser. One thing I wanted to show you guys, though, it doesn't actually matter if it's a smelted ingot or if it's just a dust. Let's take these 4 dust real quick. Doink! Diamond. See how easy that is? So when it comes to things like gold, if you're just looking to get a lot of diamonds, don't even bother smelting it up like I did. I made some just because you never know if it's going to be useful, but why waste the coal? Just the macerated dust works really freaking well. Here's a full stack of gold dust. Dump it in here, and 16 diamonds. Look how nice that is. I'm freaking rich, and this only took me really a couple of hours to get this whole thing set up. This is the power of equivalent exchange. So darn good. You know what? I actually changed my mind about wanting to build a nether portal right now. Because I'm probably going to relocate at some point, and if I build my portal here, I don't want the portals to get all screwy and link me to this place when I'm going to try to set up a home somewhere else, so we'll hold off on this. If it's all right, I'm just going to do a little quick cheat here. Get some glowstone dust, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll delete the Philosopher's Stone afterwards, don't you worry about it. I just want to show you guys how this thing can work. Let's backspace out of that. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4 redstone. We need a diamond. And just for good measure, let's take 4 golden bars. Now, this is where the gold bars can be helpful. But let's put that there, this, and doop, 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 doop. And now we have the Philosopher's Stone. So many cool things that you can do with this. It can be charged primarily for the purpose of going out here and transmuting the land. Yoop! Now it's all sand. Don't really want it to be sand, but there you go. And I can just hold down Shift and V to decharge this thing. So I only do 1 block at a time. I don't know why I would ever use that feature, but if I want to, it's certainly there. Okay, so the power of the Philosopher's Stone is that it can be used to transmute items into other items. There's a lot of different recipes you have to learn with the Philosopher's Stone, but the one that I will show you for diamonds is taking these 4 gold ingots, which you already know is the same EMC value you would find with the condenser, but using the Philosopher's Stone, this is another way that we can create a diamond, like so. Now, because I cheated, I'll just go ahead and throw this away, and also the Philosopher's Stone. That way, you don't feel like I've done anything bad besides just show you guys how it works. Obviously, the energy condenser is far more efficient and less click-intensive, but the Philosopher's Stone, if you can't find a lot of diamonds and you are able to get into the nether, is a pretty darn good way to give yourself a jump start. Another thing that I'm going to work on today is I want to create some more automation for my macerating systems. For that, I'm going to need a bit more rubber, so let's go ahead and take advantage of my rubber tree farm, which has progressed very nicely, I will say. You can see I got rid of a lot of the leaves, so it's easy to see what I need to do here, but plenty of rubber to go around. Very nice, a good renewable source. I can just come out here every couple of days, and then boom. Lots of rubber I can throw into the extractor, get a stack or 2 of the rubber. It's going to be great. Okay, good enough for now. So what we're going to do today, then, is we are also going to create an electric smelter, so I don't ever have to use coal and risk wasting, you know, not multiples of 8 or 10 ever again, just so I can sort of smelt things down using my electricity. But on top of that, I also want to create a system where I basically put something in the macerator and I can just walk away, and it's going to turn into bars. So what we need to do is actually create an engine system that will draw the ores, or the dust I should say, out of the macerator and put it into a smeltery. But for that, I'm actually going to need a bit more space, so I need to start breaking down the walls here and expanding. Much better. Okay, so what we need to do then is create that electric smelter I was telling you about. Let's look that thing up. Electric furnace. Never mind. Okay. So for this, we just need to have a regular iron furnace, which you already remember is some furnace with some iron around it. and 1 electric circuit, and just a couple of extra redstone. Super duper easy to make. And now, all I should have to do is plop this thing somewhere over here. Let's say, I don't know. This is probably okay, right? Yeah, we'll place you right there. That'll be fine. I'm going to wire this sucker up. 3, 4, boom. And now we have a fully functioning electric furnace. No, wait. No, we don't. That is not the outlet. That is the input. Hang on. I can fix that real quick. Dupe and dupe. Okay. Now we have a fully functioning electric furnace. If I go to the macerator and grab some of the silver dust, place it in here, you can see that now we're smelting it. And it's actually pretty quick, all in all. The downside, of course, is it requires a bit more coal, but the advantage is once you've actually have nothing left to smith, it just sort of stops pulling power, which means you're not wasting as much coal, as opposed to a regular iron furnace, where again, you have to do everything in multiples of 8 or 10, or it doesn't work, and you just keep wasting your time. Speaking of power, we're running a little low there, aren't we? Let's throw a bit more in there. Okay, doop, doop, and nice. Okay. Now, I said earlier that I wanted to fully automate this process, because I kind of want to be able to just dump something in the macerator and walk away and know that I'm going to have a load of bars waiting for me by the time that I get home, and there is a way to do that. This is going to be taking advantage of, is it Buildcraft or Industrial Craft that work on this stuff? I'm not too sure. I think this was Buildcraft. But we're going to grab some engines. Engines are pretty darn useful. We can use these in conjunction with some tubing to automatically pull items out of blocks, like these machines, and move them somewhere else. We'll need 1 of these redstone engines to start off, and this is made with a piston, a couple of wooden gears, some glass, and some wood. Piston, not too hard to make, cobblestone, iron, wood, redstone, blah, blah, blah. The gears are just a bunch of sticks in a row, and you can actually upgrade these wooden gears to be stone gears and iron gears, gold gears, just keep surrounding it with more and more materials, all the way up until you get diamond gears, which you can use to make quarries, but quarries are not really the most efficient system in this game. They look cool, but they're a bit of a pain to manage, so I'm not going to really worry about that at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and make myself an engine. It's actually getting a little bit dark, too. Let's get back inside. So, we just need to grab myself a few sticks to start off. Need a couple of gears, I think it was. Doop, doop, doop. Couple of wooden gears, perfect. And then a piston, which again, wood, cobblestone, iron, redstone. It's all pretty simple stuff, just follow the recipe and you can't go wrong. Before I go too much further, actually, while I'm thinking about it, so glass, you know how this stuff usually takes a long time to smelt and stuff, and it uses up coal and it's kind of a pain? Here's one of the cool things about my condensers. It only has an EMC value of 1, which is the same as cobblestone or dirt. So if I wanted to make myself a bit more glass, rather than go through the process of smelting and waiting around, I could just put it in the condenser and then put in some dirt. Doop, 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 doop. You see how that works? It's pretty darn useful. This condenser makes everything easier. It also works for, again, like bricks and stairs and stuff like that too, so building supplies are suddenly very easy to transmute. Why sit around crafting when we can just use a condenser? It's amazing. All right, so we need to put in a couple of wooden gears over here, a piston, some glass, and a couple of wood, and then boom, we have a redstone engine. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a redstone torch, because I'm going to want to have something that can control this thing a little easier, since it is electric. And then we need to make some tubing. I think you just search by tube. Nope, that's not it. What about piping? Pipe? Yes, piping. Okay. So what we need to do is get myself a couple of wooden transport pipes and either some stone or cobblestone. Probably cobble because it's a little bit easier to work with. So wooden transport pipes. There you are. That is just glass and some wooden planks. Very easy to do. Doop. Doop, doop. There we go. We have wooden transport pipes that work in conjunction with my redstone engine. Same thing will be true using some cobblestone, so we'll just place some glass there, couple of stone. Now we have cobblestone pipes. So how does this all work? Let's find out. I'm home. Okay. Let's place a wooden transport pipe, let's say right here. And the wooden transport pipes, what they do is they work with the redstone engines to pull things out of a block. Okay? And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to move it up over here, and then down into the furnace, so it goes into the top slot right here, which will be whatever dust comes out of the macerator. Now all I should need to do is place a redstone torch, let's say, I don't know, here. And you can see that now it's pumping. if there was anything in this slot in the macerator, it would now start pulling it through this tube and gradually move it over to the electric furnace into the top slot so it can automatically get moved into, smelted into ingots. So let's go ahead and grab a bit of, let's say, the iron, since that stuff's relatively easy to work with. Put it in here. Now all we have to do is wait. Okay, dust comes out, and there we go. See, one just left. How'd that happen? Where did it go? There it is! Floating up in the pipe very slowly. Here comes the second one, and that's going to keep happening with every single pump. Let's go ahead and grab this out of here so it can get started working. This is going to go right down into the furnace. Alley-oop. It turns on, and it smelts. Amazing! It's so freaking cool! Now we can actually do something very similar. If I wanted to just recreate this setup with some new engines and stuff, I can have some piping that pulls it out of the furnace and back into this chest, so I don't ever have to check the furnace again. Isn't that awesome? Now, different pipes do different things. You might be saying, hey, what's the difference between the cobblestone and the stone, for example? Well, in those cases, it's actually basically the exact same thing. It's just if you put a stone pipe and a cobblestone pipe next to each other, they don't actually join up. They stay separate, which makes it easier to kind of be more space efficient, you know? Run some cobblestone pipe, then some stone pipe, then some cobble. They run next to each other parallel, but they never actually join up and mess up the system. And then there's all sorts of other things. If I remember correctly, golden pipes just shoot the items through a lot faster. Diamond are actually sorting pipes, which I guess we might get into later. I can't really remember what the iron transport pipes do. Then there's waterproof ones, because you can actually use this to pump through water, oil, lava, fuel, and so on. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. But in the meantime, out comes all of my iron and heads toward the chest. This is your first step, really, to fully automating your ore processing. Of course, the process does still take a long time, even if it is kind of hands-off, so now's the perfect opportunity to go back into the mines and keep gathering up those valuable resources. Oh, hi. Oh, it's a whole part. Oh, God. Okay, I have made a horrible mistake. Can I kill these guys fast enough? Answer, freaking no. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Let's actually create some armor, finally. Of course, the question is, can I ever find my stuff again? I think it was down this way. Maybe? Kind of hard to tell for sure. This feels right, though. Right over here, I think it was. Yes, there's my stuff. Okay, wonderful. I'm not entirely sure how I remembered how to get back here, but I'm really glad that I did. Thank you, internal mapping system in my brain. Where did all the skeletons even go? Did they despawn after killing me? Oh, we finished our job. It's very generous of them. But I feel like there were supposed to be some skeletons guarding my corpse. Heck, maybe my corpse turned into a skeleton too. I don't know. Or maybe they knew that I was coming for vengeance, and they fled in terror. All of these are equally likely possibilities as far as I am concerned. Oh, crap. I looked at the Enderman. Oh, no. This is not going to work out well for me, is it? I am so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you with my gaze. Please die. Please die. Please die. Please die. Please die. Please die. Oh, good lord. Yay! Ooh, Ender Pearl. I don't really intend on using that anytime soon, but hey, you never know. Could be good. Now, with you guys being the intelligent people that you are, I'm sure the implications of all the things I've just showed with you in the last few minutes is not lost on you. Can you conceivably macerate up gold and feed it into a condenser and automatically turn it into diamonds? Sure, you could. But you can think bigger than that, because there's all sorts of really cool stuff in this mod pack in order to automate factories and crafting and stuff like that. There is, you know, if you let me kill these guys first real quick, okay, then I'll show you. We can actually get an automated crafting tables and stuff like that, which conceivably can feed in the resources and craft any recipe you can think of. Which means Tekkit is not just an overpowered mod pack about doubling your ores and stuff. That wouldn't be as fun. That just takes all the challenge out of the game. No, the fun of Tekkit is being able to create some really awesome factories in your spare time. You get to design one from scratch. That's where the challenge comes in, and that's what's fun to watch. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. Hope you guys are looking forward to seeing it, because I got some pretty cool ideas. Oh, hello! That was unexpected. Nope. No. Okay, well, Alright then, I guess that's fine. Lava. Now, would I say that the condenser and the machines that you can make in Tekkit are overpowered and ruin the game? Depends a little bit on who you talk to. Personally, I would say no. Actually, I think the people who are upset that I can get 50 diamonds in 2 minutes of work are mostly just jealous that they can't get that many diamonds after spending 10 hours in the mines. But that's just me being mean. But for real though, I know what kind of endgame content is in Tekkit, the late game stuff that you can build, the really big ticket expensive items, and I'll show you some of that stuff by the end of this video. But it would take thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of diamonds in order to make all that. To expect me to actually go down there and manually get all those diamonds the old-fashioned way is just not practical. You need to have an automated system if you want to be able to experience the endgame content. So for me, I think it all balances out. It's not about how easy it is to get the resources once you've got things set up. It's about what you do with it, the creativity that's required, the industriousness. That's what makes Tekkit fun for me. Ooh, what do we have here? A tiny little spider spawner. Oh, they're poisonous! Oh no! I'm gonna die! No, not really, but it sounds more dramatic when I say it that way. This is an ungodly number of webs. If I don't find Shelob at the end of this thing, I think I'm gonna be disappointed. And no, Shelob isn't actually in this mod pack. That'd be cool, but this isn't Chocolate Quest. It was just me telling a joke. Don't get your hopes up. Well, I guess that's enough for one trip. Let's head back home. I don't want to spend the entire video in the mines again. We've done that enough already. And honestly, at this stage of the game, I spend most of my time just trying to find high-ticket EMC items. Bunch of nickelite, some uranium, tungsten, gold, and so on. Just stuff like that to kind of keep things going, because otherwise, as long as I have an item template for my condenser, I'm more or less good to go. So EMC becomes my top priority. Now, you might have noticed that one of our consistent problems is we're always having to use up a load of coal in order to keep this generator running. Otherwise, our battery doesn't last for very long, and that kind of slows everything down, unfortunately. But there are ways to try and get around this. Alternative power sources sound pretty good. For example, if I wanted to use something somewhat renewable that I can just place and leave, what if I wanted to go for some solar panels? Something like this. That takes a bit of glass, some electronic circuits, a generator, and you have to smelt or macerate down some coal in order to create some coal dust, which is not too hard to do, obviously, if you already have the macerator in place. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and macerate down a bit of coal dust, get some glass, make a few electronic circuits and generators, and see if I can get like 4 or maybe even 5 of these things together. And that will create a passive stream of power to my battery, even when I am not around, as long as there's light outside. I need a bit more glass. Boom! Hello, glass. Oh gosh, that is so satisfying. Alright, so one of the downsides of the coal dust is this is not something you can condense. You're going to have to macerate this all from scratch, but let's go ahead and place 4 here, 4 here. I need some electronic circuits, generators. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And now we have 4 solar panels that I can place outside. Or I could embed it into my roof if I'm really feeling frisky. Yeah, that actually could be kind of fun. Let's go ahead and put some solar panels in my roof. Okay, right here should be pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, obviously, you don't want your solar panels to be obstructed by anything. That would be, well, that would kind of defeat the purpose now, wouldn't it? But with those in position, now all I need to do is get some copper cabling, and I can just wire it down to my bat box. Unfortunately, I forgot the copper cable. 1 second. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll wire this up the wall, and boom. Now we have some solar panels. So if I check my bat box, sure enough, we now have a consistent small stream of power running into the bat box. Now, obviously, you want to have as many of these things as possible. Or, I mean, if you want to use solar panels, there's a lot of other options out there. But if you're going to use solar, as many as you have, probably the better. There's a few other options, though. If we look at, let's say, some arrays. There we go. Arrays of solar panels. You can take these solar panels and you can put them basically around a transformer and create like a super strong one that's like 8 times stronger than a solar panel. Then take a whole bunch of those. You can make medium voltage ones and then high voltage ones, and each one of these progressively gets stronger and stronger until the point where you have a high voltage solar array. Just generates oodles and oodles of power. Of course, it's generating it at a high voltage. You're going to need some transformers to knock it down to something usable, but even so, I think you guys get the point. And now I can save myself quite a bit of coal. Or if I totally forget to put anything in here, I mean, it'll slow down my machines because they'll run out of power, but at least some progress will be made no matter what, even if I'm down in the mines not paying attention. And there are a lot of other ways to generate power as well. You can look for some geothermal generators, where you just, like, put some buckets of lava in there, and that gradually makes power for you. You could create some windmills, which just look like a stupid square block. Not very sophisticated, also not super-duper effective, but if you place them up pretty high and space them apart from each other, it does technically get you some power. And there's also water mills and stuff like that as well, which you can place, like, in the river somewhere. Doesn't generate much, but, again, there are some renewable options for you. Of course, the big-ticket item would be go for nuclear reactors. Of course, this requires some refined uranium, a bunch of coolant cells, and stuff like that. Stuff I'm not really sure I want to get into in this particular series, because I really don't use nuclear reactors that often, but, depending, maybe you guys would like to see that. I don't know. You can let me know in the comments section. But that is where you generate the motherlode of electricity. Tons and tons to be had. When it comes to cabling, though, between the batteries and transformers and machines and stuff, there are a few other options. You don't have to use just copper cables, right? You could use, this is more than I think I was expecting. You could use gold, which has a different rating for how fast, how much voltage it can handle. There's glass fiber cables, which are the best by a long shot. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. But they do cost a diamond every time you want to make them, and you only get 4. So these can get pretty darn expensive. But these probably are the best cabling you can get as far as transferring electrical units without a lot of power loss and still be able to handle a pretty high voltage. Gotta love those glass fiber cables. But, again, a little on the expensive side. So as long as I keep gathering up resources and making tons and tons of diamonds, eventually I can't afford to do that. Now, before we close things down for the day, I am sure the question that is on your mind is what exactly you can do with all this newfound wealth. I mean, that's a lot of diamonds that you could conceivably make, and I haven't even shown you ways to create infinite diamonds. That's still to come. But still, this early in the game, 39 diamonds? Heck, what would I even want to do with that? I can make a set of armor and a half. Well, I'll tell you what you can do. There's a lot of stuff in the Equivalent Exchange mod that is intended specifically for the late game, and it gets really freaking expensive at some point, but they are powerful. For instance, let's suppose we wanted to skip diamonds entirely and go to dark matter. Dark matter's pretty good stuff. That requires a load of H-analysis fuel around a diamond block. What's H-analysis fuel? Well, it's a Philosopher's Stone using Mobius fuel, which is alchemical coal, which is coal. Several different steps as far as actually just creating tons and tons of fuel in order to make your dark matter. And this stuff can make dark matter pickaxes and other tools, armor. They all have special properties. They're ridiculously strong, but this isn't even its final form. Let's suppose you wanted to go to red matter instead. Now there's the good stuff. That requires 3 dark matter each in order to create an H-analysis fuel. Keep in mind, by the way, red matter, EMC value of 466,944. Remember that diamonds were only like 8,000? So this gives you an idea that this stuff can get pretty darn expensive, but my god, you can imagine it's pretty darn powerful. Whole bunch of tools, each with special magical properties, some of the strongest armor in the game. It's freaking ridiculous what you can do with this stuff, and that is something that I will be building myself up to eventually. But that's those are all pretty darn useful. And then there's other special items, like, for example, Swiftwolf's Rending Gale, which is a ring that you make using dark matter, so obviously pretty expensive, plus an iron band, which is just some iron around a lava bucket, and some feathers. And this thing gives you freaking flight. But of course, if you want to have flight, you gotta store your magical energy somehow, so that's where you create Klein Stars. Or however you say that. Yeah, Klein Stars, which is diamonds with more of that fuel. And they gradually get stronger and stronger until they can hold an absolute freaking ton of EMC. 25 million EMC in order to build this thing. It gets ridiculous, and you might look at that and get overwhelmed and say, oh my god, there's no way in heck I can do that. Sure, making 39 diamonds was cool, but I don't have the patience to sit around and create several thousand. Don't you guys worry. I will show you methods of creating tons and tons and tons of EMC. But that is another video for another day. Now, today, I'm going to end things here. What I'm going to do in between videos, if that's okay, is I'm going to go ahead and find myself a new home. I'm going to see if I can find myself a marsh, someplace with a lot of naturally occurring rubber so I don't have to relocate everything. And I'm going to build a big honkin' home. It's going to take me like, I don't know, 10, 15 hours or so probably. But using the power of the condenser, I can get all the crafting materials I need pretty darn easily. Take this gravel, Say that I want some more cobblestone. Whip-a-doop, doop. Let's say I want a cobble. Boom. And there we go. Super duper easy to make. You guys get the idea. So it's not going to be as hard as you might think. It's just going to take a lot of time to actually place the darn stuff. That's something I'll do in between the videos, though. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Say goodbye to our spawn location, and I will see you guys next time.